Dungeons and Dragons. This is a quiz. The tabletop dungeons. Tabletop gaming. I don't know what the actual questions might be. It could be about anything within the game. It could be about specific characters. It could be about specific versions of the game, which there are different versions of the game and have been for the last 50 years. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what to expect. So let's see. Given rise to the device. Okay, they're saying Dungeons and Dragons has given rise to all these other different types of role-playing games, and it's had enormous impact on the world of video games, and they've had some recent troubles. That's true. We talked about it a little bit. A series of recent gaffes where they tried to monetize the secondary market for adventures and things like that. People who are producing product based on their product, used on the rules of their product, which has been done from the beginning. It was always encouraged. It was part of the process. In fact, most of us made the stuff up. You didn't have all of the books necessary, every single book with every single monster. You just used the skills, the tools, the things that you did have at hand for the storytelling and creation to make the story complete and to come up with your own stories and to have your own adventures. That was always the point of the game, and they tried to take that away a couple of years ago, and it really got him. Well, yeah, I've talked about some of the troubles that we've had with Magic the Gathering, and Magic the Gathering is changing. It's changing. It's changed very much in the last few years. It has switched from being a game that was driven by the players to being a game that's driven by the corporation to produce a product that collectors are interested in, that speculators are interested in, and then they're farming themselves product in the secondary market and cutting people like my little shop out. Thousands of shops across America, game shops and comic book shops across America over the last few years have been cut out of the Magic the Gathering, the UPI, their whatever their gaming system is that controls their tournaments and their matches that you have. And we would have regular play in the store. We would have draft play and we would have pre-release play, which is a week before everybody else gets it. Little shops like ours could get it, and people could come and play it, and you could buy it just that little bit during that week or on that weekend of the release. Otherwise, it was our opportunity to make a little bit of money on it and keep people playing the game. Well, they cut us out by jacking the numbers of people. They cut out all the small shops. We're a comic book shop. We're not a game shop. As much as some of the guys running around here would like it to be a game shop, it is not. It is a comic book shop that has a gaming component to it. We supply, Warhammer and Blood Bowl, and we have the Dungeons and Dragons books, and we have Flesh and Blood, and we have Final Fantasy trading card game, and of course we have some Magic. A lot of it we buy after. We used to get it before. We used to be a part of it, and we would have prizes and competitions, and the players were what mattered. And as Magic, as Wizards of the Coast, as Hasbro has changed their model from giving a damn about players and the actual game to let's see what property we can slap on some cards and make a bunch of money from. Over the last 2 years, not one single in-universe set from Magic has outdone even the worst of their out-of-universe, their universes beyond stuff. That's where you get your Fallout and your Final Fantasy and your Dungeons and Dragons and I don't know. They've done a bunch of different ones, but they've been more successful than their own creations, and their own creations take a lot more work. So they're making money on slapping Spider-Man on some Magic cards, and it's fundamentally changed the game after they cut everybody else. So the question is, did they foolishly cut everybody else out because the concentration was on gaming at the time, not realizing that they were about to change their model? They didn't know that they were going to change their model at that time. So it's been fairly recently that they started doing the properties, and that the properties began making them money and took over. And so I don't know that they did that. Otherwise, they did it foolishly, not realizing now they need our shops to sell the product to the collectors, and it doesn't matter whether or not we have a certain number of gamers playing every week or not, that we're just another place for them to sell product through. Or they did it on purpose. Okay, no, obviously there. If you couldn't tell, there's a little bit of a sore spot in there. The whole and their whole manipulation of things, Magic's whole manipulation of the market. Whatever. It's their product. They can do what they want with it. But it's sad to watch. It's the same thing that's happened to Marvel. It's the same thing that's happened to Star Wars. These people with an agenda, and not just a corporate agenda, but the corporate agenda being probably the worst of it. Have gotten a hold of them, and actually there's another article, we'll look at it here in a minute, we'll come back to it, but I shared it up there, towardanarchy.com, episode 2528. It's this one, where is it? Why don't I see it? I might have to look for it here in a second, but I wanted to go back and go ahead and do the. Here it was. Okay, no, I did get it. It's right here. Disney chased men out of Marvel and Star Wars. Now they want them back. We might look at that one here in a minute, but the article is up there for you to peruse at towardanarchy.com if you want to go check it out and see what it's actually about. But yeah, it's the same thing that they've done to them. They brought their woke agenda, they brought their corporate agenda, they brought every agenda other than supporting the game and the players and the people who made them what they are today, who gave Hasbro a reason to buy Wizards of the Coast. They gave Wizards of the Coast a reason to buy Magic when it originated, for them to buy TSR back when they did. The players, us, the people who played the games, we're the ones that gave you the reason that you could make those investments and buy those things, because we made them big and made them money makers. And then you just kick us in the sack and walk away. You tell us that you don't care about the 12-year-old boy that's inside us anymore, that it's all about whatever it's about your money, it's about your woke agenda, whatever it is. Well, so be it. You get what you get. You get the destruction of long-term quality properties that kept people entertained and made people a lot of money for a lot of years, and now you're destroying them. Okay, so and the point is that they've had their recent little series of gaffes in the Dungeons and Dragons world. I guess we could look at it. Let's see, PC Gamer. It's clear Hasbro, the custodians of D&D, have no idea what to do with Baldur's Gate 3's success, but that's nothing new. It's spent the past 10 years fumbling the bag, and the Baldur's Gate thing is just one and a long list of things. It's weird how they can't manage to properly capitalize on certain things, even though they see the success of them right in front of their face. It's very, very very sad, really. Let's see, whether you're a veteran dice chucker who knows what THAC0 is, 2-hit armor class 0, that's what THAC0 is, or a latter-day Baldur's Gate 3 convert, this quiz is designed to test your understanding of the entire long history of the game from its humble origins in 1974 through its most recent incarnation. Don't expect an easy encounter. This is at least a die check of 25 intelligence. That's crazy. And it might take a critical hit to get a perfect score. I mean, 25 intelligence, that's, that used to not even be a thing. It used to be so hard to get to that kind of a level, that kind of a height with the individual abilities like intelligence and strength and dexterity, and it took to get up to that. It took something. It's not that. Now those skills are what you increase in characters. Those are what you build. If you don't have 47 dexterity, given various adjustments and ring bonuses and things like that, by the time you hit level 20, you're probably not a very good character. Well, depending on whether or not you need dexterity. Pointedly. Obviously, if you're a cleric, you don't necessarily need dexterity. That's not necessarily something you'd be building up as a skill, but the point remains the same. Okay, so let's see. Let's hit the actual quiz. Where is the actual quiz? Okay, what is going on here? I don't get this. And the fact that this stupid ad keeps kicking on just because I scroll. I've already paused it. I've already said, what is going on here? Where is the actual quiz? This is... I made a fool out of myself by trusting people to actually produce what they said. Am I in some kind of weird Twilight Zone? Hello? Anybody? Help? I'm slipping into the Twilight Zone. Test your tabletop gaming knowledge with our diabolical Dungeons and Dragons quiz. All right? Comments. Image. Nothing. It's not a link. Oh, what is with my throat? Is it the weather? Okay. No link. Whether you're a veteran, let us know how you did in the comments below. Like this article. What the... And that's a whole new story. What the... Oh my God. What is wrong with the world today? This is a level of stupid I find unconscionable. What is going on here? Let's see if I can go. I guess let's go to the PC Gamer site and see if we can find. This is just taking us back to their collection of work on the MSN site. Let's go to PCGamer.com website. Let's see if we can find the article. Let's see if it's up here. Hacking mini games. Okay, because that's important. You can't just play the game, you gotta cheat too. Ah, Jesus. What a waste of time. That is life. Just ridiculous. I don't understand what's going on here. I really, truly don't. Why does this have to happen? What breakdown in communication here on a professional news site from a professional magazine, for what magazine is worth at these days? For 3 weeks, this thing is sat up here. Look, I'm going over it again. Come on, let's go through it again. This is ridiculous. This is so sad. Nothing. There's no links in here. There's no links. Let us know how you did in the comments. Like this article. This is related video. This stupid video that just keeps replaying. It's just not even worth. I'm just not. I'm not going to comment. I have no comments. Somebody tell me that this is my fault, please, so that we can move on. That I don't have to stand here and wonder whether or not I'm insane or stupid. And just tell me this is my fault so that we can get on with the rest of our lives. I give up. This is so sad. This is so sad. Such a simple thing. I mean, you had one job, right? That's the joke. That's the meme. You had one job. That was it. That was your one job. And you couldn't even get that right. Jesus Christ.